Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream.
That's right.
Brought to you this evening by the fine folks at Kokomo Toys. And as you can see, we've got our normal cast in the house this evening.
That's right.
Joining us from temporary single dadland.
Yeah.
No.
It's the honcho, Mark Weber.
That's it. The lovely Michelle is on a birthday week trip. She'll be back, I think, Saturday. So some people get a week for their birthday. Some people get 6 hours. Whatever.
What's important is you're not bitter.
You're not bitter.
Not bitter.
Not bitter.
Nope. But as I explained to the lovely Elizabeth and little Mr. Derek, and they know this now, I just say, okay, mom's going to be gone, so you know what that means. And most kids would be like, I don't know, best behavior, or, try your hardest, or they both sigh at the same time and go,
Pizza.
Daddy-law. That's right. Daddy-law.
It's a week's worth of canned soup and peanut butter sandwiches.
That's it. We're making spaghetti, baby. A lot. Because it reheats great. So we make a big vat, and that's dinner for a while.
For a couple of days and a couple breakfasts.
For a while.
That's
yeah.
terrifying.
You got soccer on Saturday.
No, I make
Saturday morning breakfast.
I make good spaghetti. Like, it's pretty significant. So
it's legit. Okay.
You could eat it 4 days in a row. And as a matter of fact, we just might.
That's how the honcho got through college.
How I roll.
Also joining us there at the bottom of the screen, the lovely, the talented. It's Joe Colton.
Hello, everybody.
She's in HD this week. We finally rate high enough that she got her camera out. Or you decided, like, either we finally rate high enough or we finally rate high enough and you remembered to put on makeup. It's one or the other.
I didn't because I don't have my eyebrows on, so I didn't remember to put my makeup on. So clearly it's the former.
You put eyebrows on?
I mean, do you need to borrow some eyebrows? I can probably lend some.
I just feel them. Oh my God.
Mike can help you. I can't help you with any eyebrows. I got none to loan.
Oh, the mark of the ginger.
Yeah.
Why?
So good week, folks. Good week.
Hey. Same old,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been enough of a week that even I'm drinking. So there you go.
Right?
That right there. That tells you what kind of a week it's been on this end. We have an absolutely loaded Postsac inspired show today. So let's get to it.
All right, fine.
All right.
Fine.
Wait a
minute. Wait, what'd you guys do last weekend? Did you party like a maniac at anything that happened?
No, I went to work, man.
What?
Nope.
No, nothing exciting?
Some of us don't have cushy office gigs, honcho.
Yeah. And then this week, God, I'm a day off and 2 half days. So that's like 3 whole days of work, but split up, right? So I'll be all right.
So you're not stressing out too hard.
Joe Cole wants to punch me so bad. That's fine.
I know. I'm so tired. I sent these guys a blurred vision of a blurred image of my schedule, and like Mark had no sympathy for me.
If you had more energy, I'd be in trouble right now. But now it's like, she's a little
like she could conceivably take a train, go up, kick your ass, and be home for dinner.
Yeah.
Like I have more security than that. She can't get here that fast.
It's true. The cool thing is she'd have to go through Elizabeth first, and then, the dog, Emma, who's like a punt, and then Elizabeth, and then Derek, who's wiry. And then it's like a video game. It's like the boss fight at the end, right? So
you find your children.
Use your big power up and defeat the redheaded beast. And think you've won, and then Colin with his 18 Wolverine claws.
See, there's your final boss fight. That's your final boss. That's
pretty safe. Pretty safe.
I couldn't hurt you, Mark Weber.
You could, but you wouldn't. I
wouldn't.
I appreciate the restraint.
I enjoy your company.
See, yeah, we're buddies. And honestly, I'm faint of heart and fair of skin. It wouldn't take much. You know what they say? Less is more. Okay.
I was gonna say you age like fine wine, but we'll go with that one.
Yeah, I ferment.
I'm not even sure what direction we're taking with that anymore. So let's
get
rolling on this.
Yes.
Go ahead.
First up tonight, it's the news.
Do 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 do.
There we go. She's alert today.
On it.
Good. Our first news item is the GalaxyCon G.I. Joe virtual experience is scheduled for December 12th and 13th. So big doings from the folks at GalaxyCon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday. That's the 12th. Fans can join the Joe Day G.I. Joe panel featuring Michael Bell, B.J. Ward, Mary McDonald Lewis, Bill Ratner, Will Ryan, Francois Chow, who was Quick Kick, Neil Ross, and Hank Garrett. So that is a loaded panel from the old Sunbow cartoons. And then at 4 p.m. Sunday, which is the 13th, Cobra Day takes place. And that's Keone Young, Morgan Lofting, Brian Cummings, and Greg Berger. So fans will be able to join one-on-one panel chats after those at 5 p.m. with their favorite actor and can even send items in for a personalized autograph. There is no fee to attend, but for more information and autograph pricing, visit galaxycon.com. Again, that is going to happen on December 12th and 13th, and that is a positively loaded G.I. Joe experience if you're a fan of the old Sunbow cartoon. It's almost like we're going to be there asking Jeopardy questions. It's that big.
Maybe we should crash it.
Will we have the link on our page?
I'm sure.
Yeah. We should
It's
drive
up. It's not there right now, but I can fix that.
Let's drive up like DX on a little tank. It'll be awesome. Woo!
And by little tank, you mean a Jeep with a tube mounted on top?
Well,
a Jeep with a piece of pipe on top?
Yeah. We'll make it work.
Work for them.
It's a limited budget, man.
Well, instead of a Jeep, we'll have a Kia Soul.
Right. Hey, I was looking at this, and it is voice actor royalty as far as Joe goes, right? Mm-hmm. Like the only guy missing that comes to mind is Arthur, who may have been busy or who knows.
It's Zach Hoffman.
Oh, and Zach, but I mean,
like had they come and gotten the What's on Joe Mind Rolodex, we probably could have made it a bigger event.
So it's 10 of the top 12 available or something like that. That's impressive. But the one part that makes the tear go down the eye and down the chin and quiver before it drops is if it's this easy to get them together, then what the hell was the video game doing? Right?
Right.
When they didn't cast any of them. Like, opportunity missed.
What's important is you're not bitter.
I'm just trying to help, man.
He has opinions, Mike.
I mean, I suppose I could just sit here and go, it's amazing. But that'd get old.
Amazing.
Wouldn't it?
I could watch you busting out some of that Doug Henning kind of stuff right there.
We need a little
magic.
I've always believed in the power of illusion. Look, I got him. Mike had no idea I was going to Doug Henning impression.
Well, I mean, really, who doesn't have a Doug Henning? Yeah. Nobody remembers him. He's been dead for 20 years, but whatever.
He was Mr. Perfect. No, wait.
No, different guy. Different guy. That was his brother.
Never mind.
Point taken away, Weber.
Oh. Next news item. PCS Collectibles has revealed images of the second wave of statues in their G.I. Joe line. Online retailers are accepting pre-orders for 1/8 scale statues of Serpentor, Destro and the Baroness, based on their appearances in the 1980s Marvel Sunbow animation. More Marvel Sunbow stuff. MSRP for these is $49.99. Big Bad Toy Store lists that they are expected to ship in March 2021. So basically, hit up your favorite toy retailer, and they should have those available for you. I did not have the opportunity to get images of those up for us to share. So you guys have some thoughts on how they look. So go ahead. Fire away.
Ooh. I figured out how we can make this work even without images, okay?
Oh, God.
3 statues, right? 3 of us. So, Mike, the best looking statue by far is Serpentor, and you've got the headset thing going on.
Yep.
So you be Serpentor. Wait, you be Serpentor, right? Almost by default. Joe, you're the girl. You get to be the Baroness, dark hair and all. So fine. I'll be Destro. Wait, hold on. I'll be Destro. Have you seen the size of his head? It's ridiculous.
I mean, by backing all the way up by that, Mark, it almost looks like you could wear normal hats.
I was trying to figure out how to make my head look small, and that ain't easy without CGI. But a pet peeve of mine in general, unless you're going with the idea that Destro's face is made of metal, if you're actually going with the idea that that is a mask over a real human-sized head, then his head should appear big. It should appear large. This head looks like it would fit in either shoulder or pectoral of the figure.
I was going to pull up the photos that I screen capped, and it's literally his head, the giant shoulder, and I was like, why does it look like that?
Do you think he's storing extra heads in the shoulder, perhaps?
I mean, perhaps that's where the head mask hides when he's in battle to keep it safe.
Like a turtle.
Yeah, just kind of retracts. You know, just kind of pulls back.
I don't want to take the easy.
Mike, I just sent it to our group.
Okay. I can't do much with it once we're in the room. So it's you're just gonna have to go. I looked and saw them on Big Bad Toy Store, so I guess we'll give them the unofficial plug.
If you're wondering what it looks like, this is a pretty good representation among the 3 of us. It's so bad.
Well, the chair you're sitting in is his shoulders.
Yeah, here we go. I gotta get up a little bit. Hang on.
Yeah.
Cobra!
It looks like that.
Cobra!
It's really bad.
March, my grenadiers. Like, oh, it's so bad. But the statues themselves, not. Oh, look at that! There he is.
It's not good. It's not good. It's really it's disappointing after the shoulder has broken Joe Colton. That's how good this is. It's disappointing because the first wave did not suffer from from proportion problems like this.
No.
Did Rob Liefeld try these? Like, what is going on?
Show me the feet. Show me the feet. Really, I mean, Series 1, the only issue was that Snake Eyes looked grape flavored, but wasn't.
You don't know that. He could be grape flavored.
Don't lick the statue. And these guys, Serpentor looks great. Baroness is not bad, but I mean, we've discussed Cheesecake Baroness before, right? To no end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Baroness done right. Yeah, like, get that hip out there, Baroness. It's Sasha Banks Baroness, right?
Why does she look like that?
I think the reason why the Baroness always worked done correctly is she is sexy. Of course she is. She's gorgeous. She wears black leather. But just walking around mean, she's already fine, right? She doesn't need to blow kittens and throw the hip out and arch the back, and it's too much. A little too much. So, yeah.
No,
she
it's
doesn't
too
walk like
sexy.
that.
It's too sexy.
Por favor.
Bad.
Interesting that it's 3 villains. Now, killer villains, A+, but
yeah. And if you want to stretch it out to both waves, we have 1 hero and 5 villains.
And the whole idea that I kind of grew up with was heroes outsell villains. So be careful with your villains. Okay. So
I guess when wave 3 is Duke, Roadblock, and Scarlet, I guess nobody can complain.
Well, I read that these are available for pre-order at Target. Oh no, they're sold out. So
you didn't order them in that 3.9 seconds, so you're out of luck.
You did not.
Is a 1/8 scale a popular scale for statues? I'm not that up on my statue game.
Sideshow Collectibles and Hot Toys makes really good figures, very detailed, has a lot of articulation, and accessories. I don't know if no articulation for $50. It's
well, I mean, $50. If you were getting a hot toy for $50, you'd be going crazy.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Either you like them or you don't. Like $50 isn't that bad. If you stop and think for stuff like this, it's not terrible. So if you're gonna make a low cost statue line, $50 is probably the line.
I'm not mad at them. Anything that comes out, I'm happy in general.
Serpentor is worth the $50. He looks good. His face sculpt, his head sculpt, like proportion. He doesn't look weird. There's no
other than the fact that he's wearing a giant snake on his head. He doesn't look weird at all.
It's fine.
Right?
He's not any weirder than he was before, is what
you know. If you get all 3 of those statues, Serpentor is gonna whisper to Baroness or Destro, "It's so hot in the suit. Can I sit down? It's so hot. I didn't know. It's so hot."
And then when they walk him out, he's gonna fall on his own cape.
Right?
Yep.
I heard that's a job occupational hazard. OSHA is all over Cobra, let me tell you. But
that's why they say no cape.
The Serpentor is the best by far. Other than that, God, $900 statue or whatever it was that came out. Hardly anybody has really gone and used Serpentor in a way, right? He's kind of, I don't say forbidden fruit because you can make him if you want, but it's cool to see him because he's a cool character. So
he's just. The problem is that he always gets stacked up against Cobra Commander, who's one of the most popular characters of the line, period, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if Cobra Commander's your leader, then all of a sudden Serpentor means you have to invest in some story. Right. And not everybody's necessarily ready to do that. Like, this is a line of statues based on the Sunbow cartoons, and Serpentor was one of the more striking characters there, so I get that. But in general, like, if Cobra Commander's around, who's this Emperor guy?
Right.
Like,
if you've done, like Classified has milked the Cobra Commander cow dry this year.
Yeah.
So maybe a guy like Serpentor is somebody we could look forward to next year in Classified.
Maybe he'll be he'll be part of Cobra Island Wave 14.
Well, it kind of makes sense because he's the perfect guy to come with a small-ish vehicle, right?
True.
So could he be the next Baroness style $40, $45 figure? Maybe.
With a chariot.
Anyways, that's it for the news.
Doot.
Thank you. There, come on, more toots.
It's kind of sad.
Doot, 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 doot.
Well, that does move us into what does that move us into? Are we into the Postsac now? Let me find my rundown. Yeah, it's time for the Postsac. That whole thing that we based the whole episode around.
Yeah.
No, we're only getting to it 20 minutes in.
Sounds like bottles jingling. Oh!
Deluxe
Well,
Santa this week. All right. Okay.
Next
Okay.
Santa item.
We'll give a couple of seconds for Joe Colton to finish losing her mind.
This isn't a new one, right? This is one you had. Okay.
It's a new one.
I thought we weren't doing what Santa did you get in until later.
Got excited. He was. It's fine.
Yes, it's time for Der Postsac. Let me get over and get into PowerPoint here.
I think we have the wrong Joe Colton here for Der Postsac, but
First letter. Hello, how's it going? Hope all is well. I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, WOJM, What's on Joe Mind, has good performance in some rankings last 30 days. Position 3 in the category Hobbies, Ghana. Position 4 in the category Hobbies, Bermuda. Position 10 in the category Leisure, Bermuda. Position 12 in the category Leisure, Ghana. Position 66 in the category Hobbies, Denmark. This data is provided by name of the website, which I don't know if it's real or not because I don't feel like infecting my computer with spam. Happy podcasting, Carlos from same website. So thank you to our new listeners in Ghana, Bermuda, and Denmark.
Woo.
We appreciate your participation.
I love that number 10 of the things to do in leisure in Bermuda is listen to us. That's good.
Hey,
I like
whatever.
it.
And
I
apparently,
wonder if we were to go down there, we'd have like nice drinks by the beach.
Yeah.
Comic-Con Bermuda 2021. Special guest.
There ain't nothing I like better than laying out on the beach with a drink, baby. Woo! Sounds like a good time.
Only you like doing it at 10
be
p.m.
under a dome.
You know, at 10 p.m. you're in good shape, Mark.
Yeah, not bad. I do want to thank Kofi Kingston for listening, apparently. So that's
well, no, because he's here.
half.
I mean, he was born in Ghana, but he doesn't live in Ghana.
No.
Although maybe by you bringing him up, maybe that might boost us up to position 2 in Ghana.
To be honest, he ain't from Jamaica either, Mom.
No, he's not. No.
Just saying.
No, he's not.
Next letter. Hi, Mike, Joe, and the Honcho. What do you all think was the worst figure released? For me, it has to be Ice Cream Soldier. Thanks for the great content. And don't forget to get a dime box of C-Nugs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Why?
From the A-lister, Alistair Keffer, via email. And thanks for your letter, Alistair. And if we're going to go worst figure released, I'm going to go with that yellow mask Kamakura from Valor versus Venom, the one that didn't have any joints and had the button in his back that did the karate chop. And he's the worst for me by a mile. Ice Cream Soldier is bad, but I mean, he at least had elbows and knees. Joe Colton, how about you?
Rakondo.
No.
Probably Rakondo. She hates Rakondo.
I fucking hate Rakondo.
You're the only one.
I know I'm sorry, not sorry.
It's brave.
Headman?
Yeah. He was a little hamburglar.
Yeah. With his little weird mustache and the nope. Suit. I don't like him.
The articulated suit. Bad luck.
See, I'd still put him ahead of several others.
Really?
But, yeah. Mark Webber, who's your worst?
Even as a kid who bought everything Joe, right? If I could afford it, I bought it. If I couldn't, it went on a list for Christmas or birthday, on the years that I got a birthday. There's that tear again and the chin drop.
What day is your actual birthday, just for reference, Mark Weber?
Yeah, it's the day before Christmas.
There you go. There you go.
And a big shout out to my brother, big brother Mike Weber, for having his birthday the day before mine. Appreciate that. That's cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So growing up, we'd have one party on his birthday for both of us. And then on my birthday, we'd clean up for Christmas. And as a family that didn't go to church regularly, there was one day we never missed, right? Got to make sure you get right, before Christmas. So on the 24th, baby, we packed it all up and headed on out. So yeah, 24th, phenomenal. Anyway, worst figure release. As a kid who bought everything or put it on a list of something he wanted, I'm the guy that bought Crystal Ball and looked at Cobra Law and went, nope, don't need that. Not ever. Not free. Don't need it. And I think Globulus has to be the poster child for worthless figure. I saw it was one of the best things. Maybe I can find it and post it up. It was the card back, which I didn't know what it looked like because I never picked it up off the pegs. But the file cards are stacked like three, like Globulus, Royal Guard, Nemesis Enforcer. And somebody has an uncut card back that a small child has written on in blue, looks like ballpoint ink. And on Nemesis Enforcer, he wrote Lick, L-I-C-K. And on Royal Guard, he wrote Lick, which I assume is like. It's cute. It's a kid, right? But on Globulus, he wrote in caps, hate. That kid had the toy and had to write on the file card, hate. And some people will go, oh, he ruined the value. No, dude. He made it priceless. Like, lick.
Really, it works better with it. Only really works if you have the other two that say lick.
Right. Lick, hate. All caps, right? This is what, 88, 87?
87, I believe, yeah.
So how far ahead of the internet game was he when he knew as a 7-year-old he had to all caps that hate to fully encapsulate how much he didn't like Globulus?
And to misspell like, because nobody on the internet can spell.
Lick.
Lick.
The only person who licks Royal Guards more than him is Adam Riches, who's got like 80 or 90 of them, right?
Oh, is that his thing that he collects?
Yeah, he's the only one I know who collects Royal Guards. He says, he defends it. He's like, I'm worried about Joe's Red Ninja invasion. So, I guess.
Kick his ass.
Right?
That's fair. I am going to hold off any judgment on what Adam Riches licks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want to get in that. But yeah, I would say my honorary mention would be 84 Deep Six, because anyhow, moving on. Next letter. Coming from Australia, from Crocodile Joel McMullen. In the modern day, what are Cobra fighting for? Do they need to create a new continuity for the modern age? And Mark Weber, you ran the brand in what we would consider the modern day, so we'll let you tackle this one first.
I think the stuff I did is actually called retro. I like how they've done it. Well, it's a little bit of what Paul Aller's doing, but I thought it was really well done in Renegades, right? The idea that it's an evil corporation that's, under the radar. But I always, hey, that's my bit.
Sorry, had something on the screen.
Anyway, hey, gimmick infringement, my friend. Careful with that. I like the idea that people would go to Cobra Mart and that people would drink Cobra Cola and think nothing of it. There is a great bit from the Prometheus movie, which is hard to say because that movie was pretty rough. But there's a preview before it came out of Guy Pearce as one of the guys in the evil corporation giving a TED talk. And I actually played it for Daryl back in the day and went, this is what Cobra Commander should be. It should be a guy, a charismatic political and business leader who would finish at the end of the bit. Guy Pearce looks out at the assembled crowd and goes, "Would you mind terribly if I changed your world? Thank you very much." And they gave him a big standing applause. And then he walks backstage. And the perfect Cobra Commander segue is he walks backstage, puts on the helmet, and says, "Let me see the casualty report." Right? That's exactly what Cobra should be now, to make it modern, scary, and relevant. Right? That's because that's what Cobra was back in the day when we were worried about terrorism because it happened over there, because it happened in Libya. It didn't happen in the United States. And so Cobra as a terrorist organization worked in the 80s in a way that it'll never work again. So the idea of Cobra being Apple is, I think, exactly where it needs to be right now.
I mean, really, that's not too different than what the old Marvel Comics gave it. It was just perhaps a more public face than what Larry Hama had put on things. But
yeah,
it's not too different than that. I mean, my take is that what Cobra was fighting for 30 years ago was a pretty modern take for then, and that has stood up pretty well. Like that, it's become a little bit more true to life than we would like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it holds in. I think it holds in pretty good. Like I don't think we would need to make, like, obviously you can make these cosmetic type changes to things just to keep it a bit more on the edge and a bit more relevant. Sure, but the core of that is still the same. Even if you go, if you take the modern animation back through the comics. Now, obviously, the old cartoons, which is unfortunately how most of mass media consumers remember G.I. Joe, they were pretty well just your stock cartoon supervillain. There was a little bit of that extensive enterprises link that kind of played into, the very basic elements of, Cobra as a corporation. But it wasn't so direct a link. It was more just those guys were crooked and they funded Cobra through a series of loans and other financial backings. So it's but I don't think it's too different. I think it's just that solid that we haven't changed it much in 35 years and haven't really needed to.
Well, I think Larry was really smart when he put together the Cobra Island idea, that they're a sovereign nation. That blew my mind as a kid when Joe was all set to invade and they got called off and the Cobra lawyers are just pointing, "Get off, right? This is sovereign territory. You're trespassing." That gave it, it legitimized evil in a really sinister way. And I always loved that bit. Took me 30 years to hate Cobra Island. See what I did there?
You still love it, and you're just upset that you do. You hate yourself because you love Cobra Island.
It's a fair point.
Joe Colton, what do you think?
I agree with the both of you. There's no reason to change it now. It's been working. It's slightly different, a little updated, but I like what they're doing now. I like what they were doing back then.
Yeah. Again,
Don't fix what ain't broke.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. But anyhow. Now Joel wants to get into the details. How many action figures do you guys own? How many G.I. Joe figures and vehicles do you own? Your favorite figures aside from G.I. Joes. So, Joe Colton, you are the most prodigious collector among us by volume. What if you were going to put a number on how many action figures you own? What would that be?
Oh. 3 3/4 scale or all of them?
Just, this is everything. Everything. How many action figures do you own? Ballpark.
About 1,000.
I think you're underselling it. Mark Weber.
Really?
800 of them are red ninjas. So.
That's what I'm saying. That's not just Joe's. That's everything.
I'm going to guess if you count in Transformers, and my son's collection and mine kind of run over into each other, but it might be 1,500 all told. There's a lot of Transformers. Remember, I worked on the brand, right? And a lot of times there'd just be piles of them in the hall. We don't need these anymore. Like, okay. Or when they put together those great displays at Comic-Con, right? Mm-hmm. Where they would hang the figures inside, the jets were in the air, and the robots were all fighting. Sooner or later, somebody has to clean that up, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm always willing to help. And damn, those toys didn't even have a home. So out it came. Like, I don't want to oversell it, because when I worked at Hasbro, it wasn't like there were free toys in the hall daily. It happened oddly and randomly. And you never knew what might be out there. And they didn't last long, right? People pounced on them once in a while, but it wasn't, it was rare. But once in a while, and this is true, you would walk down the hall and, there's a Night Force whale just sitting there, right? Like, didn't have most of its stuff. But even the shell for a Night Force whale is a couple $100.
Yeah.
And somebody had just had it in their office for 30 years and didn't want it anymore. Or someone changed offices and didn't take it with them. So it's not dumpster diving, because it was out with a free sign on it. But man, 5 years at Hasbro will augment a collection in a really good way.
I have no idea. I would say if you had to take my Joe's and everything else, it's probably in that 4 digits range. I really don't have a ton of other lines anymore, because I've really pared that down in the last 10 years or so. But I don't think I'm paring down any faster than I'm accumulating more Joe's. Mm-hmm. So probably somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 if we're looking at everything. Most of those being G.I. Joes. Mm-hmm. So I guess that leads into how many G.I. Joe figures and vehicles do you own? That's whatever 80% of my number is. That's how much of it is G.I. Joe's.
I am backfilling stuff that I don't have anymore, or I knew I broke, which is rare because I was pretty careful with my Joes. I believe they're in good shape. They were in good shape when I packed them up years ago. So I'm getting like the Manta, because I knew I'd rip that thing to death. But by and large, other than the really rare stuff, because I'm not a European or an Action Force guy, or I don't need the rare variant of something. For like the mainstream Joe line, I have probably 95% of it. I really have a pretty thorough, but not real deep collection, right? Like I don't have 5 Terrordromes or 3 flags, or I pretty much have one of everything, some multiples of True Builders, but they're all so packed away that
does my college game day bobblehead of Lee Corso count as an action figure?
Yes.
Right.
I hated ASU though. Screw that guy. Anyway,
he's on the shelf. He's on the shelf next to Classified Beachhead, so I guess he's a toy.
Fair enough. Beachhead could take him.
Yeah. Joe Colton.
Does I guess play sets also count as figures, right? Yeah, I'm probably in the 1,500 to 2,000 then. It's insane. Joe's and figures and vehicles. I don't have a lot of the big vehicles anymore. But I do have quite a bit still. I do collect multiples of things depending on what the figure is, other than Red Ninjas. Like I have like 3 Joe Colton figures, and the reason why I got 3 was because I wanted to open one, I wanted to keep one, and then there was a variant at JoeCon where he didn't have a tie, and he was the only one in that pack that didn't have his tie on. And so they made an announcement, and I happened to be standing there, and I said, I'll just take it.
There it is.
You saw like 50 guys running, and I was like, I'm right here. Just give it to me. They're going to eat you alive if you don't give it to me.
Yeah, winner. It went to the right person, obviously.
Right?
Clearly.
Would
you say that you have more or less red ninjas than Santas?
I have more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a question. Question for next time. So
I'll probably say like maybe half, maybe a little around half of my collection is G.I. Joe figures and vehicles.
And the other half is Santas.
Clearly.
I don't count them as figures, like collecting figures. Those are just like my obsession.
If Lee Corso counts, then Santa probably counts.
If we're counting Santas, I'm in the 2,200 range. It's insane.
So, Joe Colton, besides G.I. Joes and Santa, what's your favorite What's your favorite line?
Probably Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Other DC Comics.
Transformers was always number 2 for me, and because I worked on the brand, I picked up a lot of them. So there's a lot of Joe is number 1, but Transformers is number 2, both for volume and in the heart. So.
Yeah, I'd have to say that it's probably my number 2 as well. Maybe. In regards to toys, maybe Spider-Man is my favorite comic character, but I don't really have a ton of Spider-Man stuff past comic books. So toy wise, it probably is Transformers for me too. And that's it from Joel. And that brings us back to familiar territory. That's right. It's King of the Postsac, Ryan Costello.
Nice.
He's back again.
Hello, Ryan Costello.
With the classified line still in its infancy, how do you think the movie line figure release should be handled? A separate line, integrated into the current line, a short-term replacement for the main line? And we've discussed this one a little bit in the past. Mark, again, you're the pro. What would you do?
I think it's what they were going to do. And we have to, I still don't think Hasbro gets enough credit for how they have, shifted things around. Like they were planning for the movie to be out right now, and for movie stuff to be in stores. And all we really saw, I think, that probably stayed how it was going to be was the retro line. I'm pretty sure that was meant to run with some of the same movie characters that we were going to, in a retro kind of look. So they deserve some kudos for how they shifted things around. I think we would have seen classified bleed off heads and be released and be replaced by a movie line. And so it would have been, classified style, but movie characters. And that probably would have carried us through the end of the year. And then for the January 1 reset, I think they would have gone back to classic characters. Because remember, anything that has movie packaging, anything that is tied in with the movie is going to pay Paramount a pretty significant royalty. So it will be less profitable. So if they can hook, they've already got Joe fans hooked. Joe fans are fine. But for the people that the movie hopefully hooks, either new fans, God forbid, or lapsed fans, if it brings them back in, then they can keep them around, hopefully, with classic product that is more profitable. So I'm dead sure that's what they were going to do, and probably what they're planning to do, because they already have a movie-ready lineup. We just never got a glimpse of it, really. So I'm sure they're going to drop that in whenever the movie actually comes out. But it wouldn't surprise me to have them shuffle that date along, even a little bit, maybe even well after COVID finally gets lassoed, fingers crossed, because they have to plan the toy release around it. So I think they would rather push it off another couple months to be more secure in the release, so they can plan their other releases around it. If this is the kind of thing they're planning on doing.
Maybe. I don't know. We saw a lot of early release lists that had movie Snake Eyes and movie Storm Shadow mixed in with what was Wave 2. So
Well,
I have a feeling that, like, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying, Mark. I'm just saying that I think they were planning to integrate those figures in with a wave of those two figures in with Wave 2 from Classified, Gung Ho, Cobra Commander, and
Barbecue.
No, Gung Ho, Cobra, and the Red Ninja.
Right.
And no wonder I forgot about him. Joe took them all.
Right.
So it's, but that's what they do with Marvel Legends too. They'll have a movie figure in with a line of guys who are straight comic book releases. So I'm not saying that's right, but it just wouldn't surprise me.
It's something that I don't know if that has something to do with Marvel because it's all going to Disney anyway, but it's something they've never done with Transformers. You've never seen movie figures mixed in with mainline non-royalty stuff. So that may be because Transformers is a little bit of a unique royalty situation anyway, but they've never done it with Transformers. Makes me wonder if they would do it with Joe. But you make a good point. Most of the early release stuff, lists and such we saw this year ended up being true. Or if they weren't, it was the movie stuff where the entire movie got moved. So obviously they had to adapt.
Yeah, we haven't seen a listing that hasn't actually been released yet. It's just all been shuffled around and in different order and all that other good stuff from the movie. So I'm tending to think that those lists were probably accurate, and it just all got scuttled around because of the movie getting delayed. But anyways, if I were doing it, I would do it Mark's way, but I'm not sure that's how they were going to do it.
No, I mean,
anyway. Given current U.S.-Russia relations, is now the perfect time for an October Guard reboot, or the worst time for an October Guard reboot?
That's a Joe question right there.
There you go. Joe Colton. You've cosplayed both G.I. Joe and October Guard.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I would say it's a good time to do it.
Absolutely. I agree. They're a lot more interesting as anti-heroes than they are as just straight allies.
Yeah. And you can take things from like real life a little bit and feed it in and update the characters a little bit and their stories. So
yeah, I mean it's the U.S. and Russia, or the USSR, however you want to relate to it. We've never really been the closest of friends, but there are times when we have similar goals, and it would, I think it would make for much more interesting storytelling if the October Guard was around now. Whereas in the 90s, when the Soviet bloc fell, there was this need to kind of push the October Guard in with the Joes proper, and we I don't know. It just didn't work. It kind of took the teeth out of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would add maybe a couple more new Russian characters.
Sure.
Maybe a government official that would be somewhat like a Cobra Commander equivalent, but not quite. Maybe another female figure. And a couple more that I would add, but yeah, I think it's a great time to add an October Guard reboot.
Yeah, because Joe finally finished her set, right?
Yes.
So she needs new ones. Yeah, takes new ones.
Gotta get new ones.
Gotta track down some more long lost con figures.
Right. Best. I mean, does anyone even argue best con set ever? Right.
No,
I had past the Dreadnought Cousins. Yes.
Oh
yeah.
God. Joe Bob and Billy Bob and Cletus and
Cletus Bob and Vance Bob and really loud hard top.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I loved it so bad it was good.
All fighting beachhead, right?
And of course, you know, somewhat okay Tiger Force beachhead in there. He was the one Joe in that set that looked okay. But I'm biased.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, look again at Hardtop and Mutt and tell me I'm wrong. But anyways. And lastly, from Ryan Costello, what would the code name of G.I. Joe's mail carrier be?
That's a tough one. Cliff.
Cliff.
Yeah.
Cliff. Cliff Newman. Cliff Newman. That'd be his name.
Well, that could be his file name. Yes, Cliff Newman.
Yeah.
But I would say, given the Joe's proud tradition of compound words for code names, Postmark.
Yeah. I like that.
Would be a good one.
That's where the whole G.I. Joe team is right now. Postmark. See?
Well.
See what I did there? You get it. It's rattling around. It's bouncing around.
It's fine.
I mean, no, I got it. It just, wasn't that good.
Yeah. Everyone's a critic. I'm a single dad, you know. I'm going to take this with you. I got a line right outside that door.
Oh, God.
Joe, anything there? Are we doing better than Postmark?
No. I like Postmark.
But he'd be he'd be a sergeant first class. Better.
That's better than a sergeant parcel post.
Right?
Maybe that's it. Parcel.
I'm glad they didn't get to the mail carrier.
Right. That's that was a planned release for 2003. Had Real American Hero run that long.
Right. Would have been him and Chef and
yeah. Yeah.
Garbage Man and good stuff.
They could have celebrity entrant Duke the Dumpster Gracie.
That's not ginger ale. At all. It's blue.
It's water with food coloring. It's one of those Mayos.
And that's the end of Postsac official. Fiend.
That's French for fiend.
That's French for fin. So there we go. And I guess while we're winding that part of things up, we do have a little bit of time. If there's a question or two from the peanut gallery, we do have a little bit of time to take one of those. And there, whatever his code name, he'll always ring twice.
The man.
Action.
Nice.
Special delivery.
Oh,
No.
I like that one.
Oh, it reminds me of S.D. Jones.
Yeah.
Got beat. Oh, and he had a weird hole in his back. What was up with that?
We are never far away from pro wrestling references,
No.
are we? We are always just teetering on the edge of old school wrestling mayhem.
That's your homework for tonight. Look up S.D. Jones, any one of his marvelous classic matches on YouTube. And when he turns around, check it out. He's got like a hole up by his shoulder.
Wow.
It's creepy. Not as creepy as Destro's Beetlejuice shrunken head.
So weird.
So bad. But I'll put it right up there. Same family.
Well, our argument on best concept right there. Thanks for the memories.
Yeah, with that awesome Mauler, right? With the new Mauler.
The very. But I would say Mauler mishaps notwithstanding, that's the best competition for the October guard set.
Fair enough. Well, Tank Tanks was O-ring, right? So it can have O-ring.
Yeah.
And then October Guard was modern. So split the difference. Fine.
First question from the crowd here. Daniel Rodriguez asks, think Shaq could have been the next Slaughter? To which I say, oh, hell yeah. Shaq would have been an awesome G.I. Joe celebrity member. Shaq would have been incredible.
We have another question from Joel.
I was going to say, I think Slaughter can hit his free throws, but
look, hey, that's fine, but can he stop Shaq in the post? No. I don't think he can.
No.
One thing I liked about Shaq a lot was he embraced the goofy, right? Far too few of the A-plus athletes are willing to be goofy, and Shaq was always cool with it. So, yeah, absolutely, he could have worked.
Would absolutely. Plus, his stepdad was career military.
That's right.
So he'd have been cool with it. He'd have taken it seriously enough.
Maybe he would have been one of those like Ninja Force lever figures to activate Shaq Fu.
He would have had Shaq Fu grip.
Yes.
He would have had Shaq Fu grip.
That's happening.
Yeah. He'd been perfect. He'd been amazing. Joel is in the crowd, our Australian friend from the Postsac letters, has another question. Mark, how do the royalties work? Does Hasbro have to break down the payments to Paramount, the actors, etc., or just a payment to Paramount and they split it up?
I mean, it was, from what I knew on Transformers, because my Joe stuff didn't have any royalties because I didn't work on any movie product at all. It was...
rather famously.
Right. Yeah, exactly, right? Hey, there's a movie coming out. Did you hear?
Hey!
Spring of 2016. Uh-huh.
But what's important is you're not bitter.
Sounds great. So, for Transformers movie product, we knew what the overall royalty was going to be, and so we would have to design around it. So, if you ever wondered why movie figures were a little smaller, maybe didn't have as well, look at you laughing at my misfortune. Laugh it up, Fuzzball.
Oh, I couldn't help it, man. I didn't want to laugh over what you were explaining. So
yeah, well, let me just take a break.
Joe Colton got me with that one. She threw my own catchphrase on top of that.
So you and Joe can be caustic about the worst left turn of my life, but no big deal. I'll be thinking about that tomorrow, Joe, when I come home at 1:30.
There you go. See.
And on Saturday when I'm sitting drinking ginger ale. So anyway, we knew how much the overall royalty was. Oh, look at the sad empty glass. And how it got chopped up was we knew some of it, we didn't know all of it, but it mattered in how much money we had to devote and tooling to the toy itself. So if you ever wondered why Transformers movie figures might be a little smaller or not have as many weapons or accessories, that royalty is coming out somewhere. So, it may never, they couldn't shave it down enough so it stayed as profitable as a non-movie item. But, make no mistake about it. Hasbro would much rather sell you a basic Marvel Legends than a Avengers, Endgame Marvel Legends, or a G.I. Joe movie fig versus a classic G.I. Joe fig. Same thing with Transformers. It's always more profitable if it doesn't have the movie royalty attached to it.
And we'll take one last question from well, maybe not the last one, but hey, Mark, what other possible vehicles could they do in the retro line? Do they have tooling for the Sky Striker, Rattler, Mobat, Snowcat? I'm going to guess that's open-ended.
Yeah, one of the sad bits when I joined the brand was I got to see a list of the tooling that was available vehicle-wise, and boy, it's tiny. There's not much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of the molds have deteriorated over time, and there was always a kind of it sounds sexist to say wives' tale, but I guess ghost story, better way to put it. that at some point the tooling was all kept in one place, and several of it was damaged in like a very key way, like someone had maybe sabotaged it and ruined the tooling for several things by removing, you know, a certain item. That tooling is gigantic, heavy, you know, steel. Like it's hard to believe somebody could come up and like remove the key ingredient, but that's how some people talked about it. And when I asked about it, I never got a, yeah, that's what happened. And I never got a, no, that's not it. I always got kind of a scared nod, like, yeah, that was a bad thing, but they didn't really get into it. So I don't know what happened, but the sadness is, and it's the truth, there is not much tooling left from the vintage vehicle. And from what there is, you've seen most of it. Most of it has already been reused. So a couple things that I know exist that we were hoping to use and close to it. The Dragonfly still exists. It was the Locust in like 02 or something. The Hammer still exists, which is a great vehicle and was always a little oversized for the 3 3/4 Joes. So I think it would be fantastic for the larger non-O-ring Joes that we're getting now. Mm-hmm. Other than the fact that the runner boards along the side have foot pegs for old Joes, not modern Joes. So it would require either ignoring that part of it or retooling that part of it. But we were really close to doing a Hammer versus Rattler box set that never came out that I think would have been really, really cool. Mm. But it was when Toys R Us backed out of vehicle sets, it kind of died on the vine. So.
Nice. What figures were you planning on that for?
I think it was an Arctic Wild Weasel, which was a cool look because I love Wild Weasel. And because we listened to the fans, it was going to be that version 2 Rock and Roll as the driver.
Oh,
nice. Never released that fans really wanted. And then once it got shelved, the club said, hey, can we use that? And we said, yes, absolutely. Because we wanted to make sure that got out while we could. So, and let's see, what else was I going to do? I was going to include a replacement tow rope that was Wolverine and Mauler sized, but soft rubber. So if you wanted to buy a couple, you could. And I think maybe it came with 3, and they were going to be used, or maybe this was in the Dragonfly set. We were doing a Dragonfly set too. And the tow ropes were going to attach to the winch to be able to pull up the missing key, well, missing for most people, of the mass device that no one could find in the mass sets years ago.
Nice.
So we were gonna also, you know, be cool to the fans and say, here's replacement tow cables. Sorry that they all broke, but here's replacement
30 years ago
of a more lasting plastic. Here's the piece of the mass device that some of you still don't have. Sorry about that. And it would have been cool. And that was something I was always trying to do. I was always trying to scratch that itch or right that wrong or find ways to let the collectors know that we knew, we listened, and we wanted to help. So there you go. Sorry about the Hammer.
Doug Dello asks, perhaps a honcho question.
Huh?
Have you ever seen the action figures manufactured? Is there a resource to learn how they are made? Curious to how much is automated and how much is manual.
Well, funny story actually. No. Nope.
They didn't let you in the factory, huh?
Never got to visit the factory on either Joe or Transformers, and they didn't send videos of it happening. So
that's weird.
I know the process, you know, but I never got to actually visit and see it, which is a bummer because I would have dug that like crazy. So, nope, never saw it.
Joe Colton, that beverage is electric blue. What are you drinking there?
Water with mayo in it.
Okay. the stilted nature of that answer says that she's lying to us. But whatever.
It's been a rough week, people.
Look, if that's your answer, that's great. We're not gonna make fun of you if you're drinking something adult. Lord knows. You're in the Toronto Street Racing Hall of Fame. You're allowed to have a drink whenever you want.
You might judge me since it's a pint-sized glass of whatever I'm drinking.
It's an empty pint-sized glass.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very delicious.
I mean, when I'm drinking water, it's in big old cups too. So I got you. It's fine.
Okay.
It's to take some of the buzz off because Joe's blood is 80% caffeine right now.
And we'll take this as the last one from the crowd for today. Joe Self asks, is a HasLab killer whale for classified too much to hope for? I would say yes.
Yeah,
I would say yes, unfortunately.
Like a hope and a prayer.
That is a massive undertaking for a 6-inch figure.
Yeah, and you shouldn't want that. I mean, pie in the sky, sure, but for the health and growth of the line, look at the Razor Crest they just put out for Mandalorian. At 3 3/4 scale, that ship was what, $380 or something from HasLab. So a killer whale that is classified scale would have to be a $500 toy. Have to be.
Oh my God, 500
and
minimum.
And how
right?
many people would be buying that?
Right. And if they put it out and it was gorgeous and it didn't fund, they would put it on the shelf next to Cookie Monster, which was a fantastic bit that a friend of mine put together, and it was fantastic, and it didn't fund. And so I guarantee they're not going near Sesame Street again. Didn't work. They have other stuff that works. So why go back? So what you want is a vamp. You want a vamp, or maybe a his tank that would run you 150, 160.
200 if you put a driver with it.
Right. It's beautiful. That's a stretch goal, right? You get clutch.
Yeah.
Like, perfect. And that would sell. I believe that would sell.
And people army build those. Like, I know several guys, about a dozen of them, who army build his tanks.
Right. And the customizers would be out because they'd be turning it into the Stinger. They'd be making a desert version and an Arctic version, and same thing with the Hiss, right? If you went Hiss tank, okay, fine. People would be buying that black Hiss and painting it crimson, painting it blue, or they need 8 or whatever. So those are your winners, and that's what you should be hoping for as a Joe fan, because I believe you can get a Ram motorcycle and a Trouble Bubble and Serpentor's Chariot and a low crawl vehicle for you massive there. A road toad, baby.
Road toad.
A pogo battle ballistic ball. Sure, you can get those because we already saw Baroness with a bike. So you want that one step up, something that's iconic to the brand and that people would buy more than one of. And that's exactly what you got right there.
Yeah, because you're only going to get one killer whale. You're not getting 10 of them. Like, maybe one guy would, but you're not going to get 1,000 people getting 10 of those.
That guy who owns the entire county.
Right.
The king of town. That guy.
Kids can race him down the hill after the big Independence Day parade.
I mean, whatever. People collect all kinds of things, but
look, you ain't wrong. Let me get that thing off of there.
I feel attacked.
You gotta relax, Joe Colton. We're agreeing with you there. We're agreeing with you.
Whatever.
Get this thing out of the way. Move on to what's next on the docket here.
So
that brings us to what we got in, and really, we're the big focus of what we got in this week is for Ms. Joe Colton, who received her prize from Hasbro from coming in 4th place at the PulseCon costume contest. So that is what we are looking at today for what we got in.
Okay.
So Joe Colton, take it away.
I got another one of these. Which is amazing. He's so gorgeous. I gotta tell you. I really like this figure.
Is he Joe or Cobra?
What?
Is he Joe or Cobra? It's hard to tell. The logo is obscured.
Well, it's also like hidden within the design of his chest piece.
I can't see beyond that big. Oh, you got a broken one. Like right in the middle. He's like broken half.
Yeah.
No, that's just that's the chest cut.
Terrible.
That's the chest
Terrible
cut.
chest cut.
Brutal.
There we go.
Hey Joe, just throwing it out there in case there are fans looking to wheel and deal. Since you have multiples of that, how many Red Ninjas would it take in swap to pry that out of your little hand? Not me. I'm good, but there might be fans out there looking to make a deal.
You can't get the amount of Red Ninjas.
3?
That's right. Make your offers at Joe Colton at whatsonjoemind.com.
I guarantee it won't be the most ludicrous offer she's gotten via direct message.
No, imagine not. Imagine not. We do a whole segment on that, you know.
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes. Been a couple months, but sometimes. But what else you got, Joe Colton? What else you got?
So I got Lord Drakon. He is a Power Ranger. It's when the White Ranger and Green Ranger, Black Ranger and Green Ranger mix, or they come together. Hold on, how can I do this? There.
That sounds personal.
Yeah. He's got all the helmets of the Rangers. He's got the White Ranger sword. He's got different arms, and he's got the helmet. It's a really pretty figure. He has a cover of the brutal chest cut, so it's not really, you can't see it.
Hey, it's progress.
Yeah. That's good.
Is he a Zord of any description? I don't know Power Rangers.
So he looks exactly like Jason David Frank, who has played like every single Ranger. So.
Okay.
If you get the other 4, can you form Voltron?
No. And then they also gave me a comic book that comes with it, so which is cool. I like it.
It's handled by our good friends at Boom Studio.
Yep. And then the last thing, I'm not sure. The last thing I got, which you guys will like, is a robot thing.
Oh, you love robots.
Robots. Oh, the robots.
Yeah. So
that is the Quintesson set, correct?
Yes, it's the Pit. Yeah, and it's from like Transformers the movie. It's very cute. There's like a little guy down here who eats things. I don't know what his name is, but he's adorable.
Gone, pretty sure.
Sure.
They're gonna
not
drop.
A robot thing.
They're gonna drop Kranix in there. He's the last of his race, you know.
Is this the white one? The little guy?
Love sees no color, Joe.
Oh. I didn't mean it like that. He has pink feet. Why does he have pink feet?
I don't know. Did we paint him?
I don't know. Then there's...
So how many Red Ninjas would it take to pry that away from you?
One.
I don't know. 10. We'll go with 10.
Wow. Look at you trying to artificially inflate your product there. But yeah, first ever release of the Quintessons there. So
yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. Like I'm not into robots, but I appreciate the artistry and the details.
And it's exactly what an exclusive should be. Right?
Yeah.
Some kind of fringe thing that never quite got made. Perfect.
Yeah.
Exclusive for robots.
Yeah.
There's a guy that has like octopus arms and stuff over here. I don't know what his name is. He's a tiny head.
I think he's the bailiff.
Yeah.
It's Rusty the bailiff.
He's the quintesson equivalent of Bull Shannon, yes.
Yeah. Or Rusty from the People's Court. Bum, bum, bum.
There's a balloon guy in the
Rusty.
middle with different faces. I don't know who he is, but he's
That's the judge.
kind of cool. Oh, all right.
Just saying. We like Transformers up here.
Joe's Price, one painted snake eye.
Dead game Snake Eyes. Good.
There you go. You know that's coming somewhere down the line.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They'll triple pack it to a case and it'll sell out like crazy.
He'll only be
Why?
5 3/4 inches, though.
Because the world doesn't make any sense at all.
No, because there's no
No.
feet.
Well, he's got those elephant feet. You know, I'm sure they get. Anyways,
I hope they make Roadblock with his tomato slicing chin. I don't know how they'll get that past QA, but whatever.
it's not your concern anymore, man. You don't work for them anymore.
Nope.
I don't know
That's not your bag, Honcho. You let them have it.
at all.
Joe Colt, you got anything else? Any new Santas?
So I got him. He's about 4 feet tall. He's new. And I got the Sideshow collectible, the child, the one that looks exactly like the one from The Mandalorian. He's quite heavy. The only articulation he has is his head moves side to side, so no arm movement or anything. He does have feet, and he holds the little ball in his hand. It's magnetic, but I kind of wish he talked, or there was like a sound, because he sits on a stand, which is really heavy. But I wish maybe the sound came out of the stand instead of him. But he's really gorgeous. He has hair. The eyes look so realistic. Very good head sculpt. Very good. They took their time with that. I also got a limited edition Disney Evil Queen from the Masquerade series. This is why I have Mike Irizarry saying that I have more than 1,000 figures. And then I have to say thank you to one of the that tunes in Thursday, Sean Russell. As a wedding gift, he got me a Cobra Commander as well. So thank you. So that came in today. Or not today, days ago.
It's probably
That's all
good
I
that she's
got.
cutting out on that one.
Why?
You
Did
were kind of
I
freezing
cut
up.
out?
You
freezing up.
kind of fritzed out there. So who is
Oh,
that from? Who's the last Cobra Commander?
Sean Russell.
Yeah, he needs to understand that, you're not the one to suck up to if you're trying to get on the show. You're not the one.
It was
Good effort,
it
though.
was my wedding gift. This guy. You didn't get married, man. It was my wedding gift.
I got married. It just was a long time ago. It's a matter of public record in Jackson County, Missouri.
It's a bond line.
Yeah. You should get an interview for that one.
But it was a long time ago.
Mark Weber, what'd you get in this week?
The only thing I got in was a robot. It's from Amazon. It's a Transformers pack. I'm a sucker for Prowl, the police car. So I got Prowl. My son got Ironhide. One of the cool things to note, though, on Transformers, they're going more and more to the closed box. Even some of their stuff at straight retail is closed box where they're not showing off the figure anymore. So if that's a trend, that might not be a bad thing for Joe vehicles. Mm-hmm. If they think it can sell, something in a closed box doesn't have to be assembled. And that makes it cheaper to make. So, I mean,
also
think about
the artwork.
And yeah, you the really cool artwork. So something to think about. Like, unless you truly display it in box, who cares? And if that makes it more likely to get vehicles because they don't have to maybe be built, cool. If the Joe line is selling to dedicated collectors anyway, mainly right now, and would it bother you if you had to put together your vamp? Well, not vamp, but your trouble bubble or your claw glider? Wouldn't bother me. So it's just something to think about. They're headed toward this kind of thing.
Racktime Rob is a big Prowl guy too, and he got that set as well. And Amazon just threw the sticking label, threw the shipping label right on the box.
Oh,
threw in the mail. So the art is a non-factor.
Yeah.
But that box is sturdy, man. Sturdy.
Yeah.
He could use a hairdryer and slowly.
Yeah, or Amazon could pull their head out.
Yeah.
I would say neither of those are particularly likely.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to return my classified gung ho I got from Amazon, and they put him in a bubble mailer, and he came all sorts of crap.
Oh.
And I opened my stuff anyway, but just out of, the sanctity of it, I went, nope, got to send it back. And it's so easy to send back now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They send you the stuff via email. You drop it at a UPS store. You don't even have to box it up. So if Amazon does you wrong as a collector, or would have done you wrong if you were a mint and box guy or gal, send it back, because they can't do anything with it once you send it back. And if they get enough of those, maybe they'll stop doing that.
Yeah. So I have a question about the boxed Transformers. So I've not seen them, right? Is there a flap that opens, or is it just like the old school box?
It's like clamshell inside.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Just a quick segue. I saw a little bit ago we had 30 viewers, which is pretty high for us this week. So thank you to everybody who's tuned in to watch us live. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We did better with that last week. I know last week I hit
the like button
and the subscribe button.
She's talking and her picture is frozen. But
okay.
Last week I complained because it was 45% of the people who watched the video were not subscribed. This week was a little bit better. We were down under 40, but we can still do better than that. So let please, if you're watching us, if you come in, join in every week, subscribe. That way, it's just going to let you know when you don't even have to get notifications.
Yeah.
Just subscribe. That way, you know when new videos are coming. Helps us out. It helps us grow the channel. Helps us get in the rotation. Right. When people watch similar videos, then we start turning up in there, and the whole thing kind of it's like pushing a snowball down a snowy hill. And we need your help to get that rolling. So we really appreciate it when you subscribe.
I almost forgot. The other thing I got in, this might take you a second. Hold on, I got to adjust this. Bring this down, right? Look at this shirt. This shirt's killing it. Okay. Read that.
Oh my God, is that the team from Bases Loaded?
No. Gorman, Apone, Hicks, Farrow, Vasquez, Drake, Spunkmeyer, Dietrich, Frost, Wierzbowski, Crow, Bishop.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. See, I'm not a big Alien guy, so.
It's the team in order
Even I knew that.
In order of rank. Lieutenant Gorman, Sergeant Apone, Corporal Hicks. Like
until you got to Ripley, I had no idea what that was.
They don't make a whole lot of Alien stuff. And I kind of like the stuff that's a little bit subtle, right? It isn't just an alien bursting out of the chest on the shirt. Like you kind of got to know what I'm talking about. So that's what I got in. Aliens, my favorite movie of all time. So if I can give a little nod here and there, fine with me.
There you go. If people know that the honcho, noted toy celebrity, the honcho Mark Webber is buying Alien stuff, then they'll make more Alien stuff.
Right?
Yeah. I like the subtle stuff. Like you got to be a fan. I'm not a fan of Alien, but I have seen all 3 movies now. Very scary. I enjoy them. Good.
You don't enjoy them. You hate scary things.
I do.
Do you really?
Nightmares. Oh my God, yeah. I have nightmares. I can't sleep. like a child.
Oh my goodness.
I had a blanket. It was great.
I mean, Joe Colton, you are, as far as real life goes, you are easily the most hardcore person on this panel, and you're the one that's sitting there that you can't watch Aliens movies. That's nuts.
Now you made me watch Prometheus. And what was the one after that?
Covenant.
Yeah.
Well,
That
those
Android man. Nope.
you hide your head from those because they're kind of crummy.
You can pretty much cut it after Alien 3. There's a director's cut that's really good.
Okay.
Alien 3 was one of David Fincher's first movies, Fight Club guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had no power, so they cut the hell out of it. And it was not very good. And because it followed up my favorite movie of all time, my brother and I always hated it. But then I found there was a director's cut. So I watched it, 20 years later, and the director's cut's so much better.
Oh, nice. Okay.
There you go, Alien people. Get that director's cut, Alien 3.
And so that rolls us into shout out. Mark Weber, who we shout out to today?
We're giving a shout out, and this is a pseudo news item too, on Facebook today. Friend of the program, Andrew Griffith, revealed that he's going to be taking over penciling duties on Larry's Real American Hero book for IDW. So, and he also revealed, we're like that, great artist, good guy. And he said that he's been dreaming of drawing like the ongoing Larry comic for decades.
Sure.
So this is a childhood dream come true for him. Great guy, great artist. Looking forward to his stuff. And he revealed a new character, kind of, the pencils anyway, of what looks to be an African-American female military policeman or police person.
Oh.
So think Law, but updated and a little bit different. And good Lord, if there's a brand that needs new blood more than Joe, I don't know what it is. So it used to thrive on 40 new characters a year. So good for Andrew, good for us, and good for the brand to get some new blood in the comic. And if it's a good character in the comic, it's always got a chance to be a good character on the shelf. So I'm excited about that and proud of Andrew. Good for you, brother.
Excellent. Anybody else getting a shout out, Mark?
That's it. I don't got time for shout outs. That's it. Just the big ones. I got kids to take care of.
He's a single dad this week,
That's right.
Just this week.
What time is it? 10:30? I shouldn't be hearing noise out in that hall, but I do. Yes, I do. It's not the cat.
He's warming up the old shoulder. Warming up here.
That's that old. That's that old Ben Stiller. What's that Billy Madison quote? Where it's like, "Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep."
He's getting the whooping shoulder loose.
That's it.
Joe Colton.
Daddy Law.
I am going to give a shout out to one Margaret Kogan for helping me
not two
make
Margaret
a dress.
Kogans, just one.
The Margaret Kogan.
Okay.
Because she helped me make a dress for a wedding that I'm going to this month. And I had to make the dress, and I have no idea how to make something like that. So she helped me. So I'm giving her a shout out.
It's got no armor plate. No armor plate, so it's kind of out of your wheelhouse.
It's a period piece, like Victorian dress. Like I
so
am
especially
not
no armor plate.
No. But yeah, so she came over and helped. She's been helping me make it, so that I thank her very much. To my husband Wes, who has been taking care of me and making sure I eat from the last 2 weeks of working hell, and another 70 to go. But it'd be great. It's fine. It'll be fine.
So he covers the eat, the food, and you cover the drink.
He makes the drink.
Strong?
No, he's not a drinker. So.
I know that's why. Like
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. Like I don't know.
That's for the best, frankly.
He's captain safety, so he makes them light. Unless it's wine, then he just keeps pouring because he's like, "Yeah, you're good."
Well, it keeps you quiet too, so there you go.
Yeah,
we'll get a little uninterrupted game time in there if you're asleep on the couch.
And the last three people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say she'll probably let me know when I say something wrong, but go on.
No. The last three people are William, because he's been working so hard on his audit, and then Julie and Galen, who came over and allowed me to test some equipment that I have been I got, and I am working on a secret project. So I wanted to. They were my guinea pigs, so I'd like to say thank you for being my guinea pigs. Ominous.
Secret project. Is this something that you will not be plugging on the damn show because you never seem to do that?
No, you'll see.
All right.
It's not ready yet.
I look forward to this.
It'd be great. I'm done now. Thank you.
She's setting a weird tone this week, isn't she, Mark? Is it just me? Am I just? She's putting off a weird vibe over there.
I like that we got her to smile and to thaw a little bit.
Gig's making her a little homicidal.
Don't mistake this, man. This is woman on the edge, and we're going to be very careful.
All right. Yeah.
70 days. 70 days.
I'm going to give a shout out to Racktime Rob, the unsung fourth man of the What's on Joe Mind team.
Holy.
We is Oli the Rock Anderson.
That's it.
He is hard at work at getting some Racktime stuff done. As those of you who don't know, Rob is an educator in the public school system, so his life's been a little crazy. So thanks for bearing with us and continuing to stream and download Racktime. We know we're a little behind, but whatever. Dude's got to keep sanity first. That is first and foremost. And there aren't so many Joe books getting pumped out there at any one time that we're really missing much with the time. On top of that, one of those is Snake Eyes Dead Game. So Lord knows that requires doctors told him to put it on the shelf 6 to 8 weeks, but he is pushing through that for you, the fans.
I like it.
Similarly, give a shout out to the folks at yojo.com. You will find the link down below, as it has been for the last several episodes, to find the SaveYojo.com petition on change.org. Please go and sign that. If you have already signed that, please share that. Take it wherever you may go. Take it to Twitter, take it to Facebook, take it to whatever social media you want to take it to. Lord knows you're not stepping on our toes. Sign. We have soared past 2,500 signatures, which is good for our little program, but frankly, we need more if we're going to make more noise with that petition. So please, we need to get the signatures up on that. Don't stop spreading that petition, please. Lastly, shout out to our friends at Kokomo Toys. You heard they got credit for presenting us at the beginning of the episode. Todd and Amber will be taking over some of the social media responsibilities of What's on Joe Mind, and we are looking to get into a much more intricate business relationship with the folks at Kokomo Toys. You'll find the link to their eBay store down below as well. So if you're on the look for anything new, vintage, whatever, make sure to give them a look at Kokomo Toys and make that the first stop for your online buying. If you're in the central Indiana area, get yourself on out to Kokomo Toys. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 5?
5?
6? I don't know. I think 12 to 6. Anyways. But that's it for us.
I want to go there.
You've never been?
I've never been. I don't get to Indiana that much anymore.
Well, See, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Ever since they closed Mattingly's down in Evansville.
Well, that's nowhere close to here anyway.
Well, whatever.
Easier to get to Evansville from St. Louis than it is from Indianapolis. It's kind of weird. Anyways, that's it for us here at What's on Joe Mind. We've gone long and kept you late one more time, as we always do. As we are wont to say, please make sure that you are doing the YouTube things down below, and you are liking the video, you are subscribing to the channel, you are leaving a comment. All those things get us more into the rotation and more likely to be seen by folks who don't know about us. So we appreciate your help with all that good stuff. Please remember, too, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so make sure you are exercising your right to choose to not get your neighbors and loved ones sick. Wear a mask, maintain social distancing. I know you're tired of it. Please, we're all tired of it. It doesn't stop being a pandemic just because we're sick of being in a pandemic. Things are not going too well right now for us anywhere in the United States as far as this COVID stuff goes. So please maintain your discipline. The sooner we all do this, the sooner it all is over. And so that's that. For my co-hosts, Mark Weber, Joe Colton, and Santa, I'm Mike Irizarry. Be sure to join us again next Thursday at 9 p.m. for another What's on Joe Mind team stream. Next week will be the last show before Thanksgiving. We are not doing a team stream the week of Thanksgiving.
We are not.
So we will have hopefully something special next week. Working on it. Otherwise, maybe more Postsac. Who knows? We don't know. It's all up in the air at this point.
Maybe election results.
No, come on now. It'll only be like 4 weeks at that point. That's far too soon. Far too soon. But anyways, good night, everybody. Have a pleasant rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. Be sure to join us again on the very next episode of
What's on Joe Mind?
Look at this Destro cosplay.
Your head's too big still.